Yeah. Let's go. We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
Let me fix your mic. I can't hear. One more again, Lauren.
Lauren.
Why your mic so loud? Can I one more again?
Lauren
There
Sizzle.
we go. That beautiful voice. All right, so we here in the building. We're going to have a dynamic time today because we have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. So we're going to do a little interviews. We're going to talk the sizzle, of course. I can't wait for that. But most importantly, before we do anything, I got to ask you, how was your day? How was your day?
I had a rough day. I was doing some moving. I'm still moving my stuff from my old house. Yeah, and all that stuff. And then on top of that, I'm not feeling good. Been having my annual sinus infection. So every year this time it's
Clockwork.
the same. Yeah.
It's like
When
clockwork.
I've been, trying to extra fluids. I got a nasal spray, a nasal wash. I have a sinus spray and allergy spray. It's just nothing is helping.
Yeah, I say I got to put you in a bubble. Yeah, put you in a bubble, get you, all covered from all of the elements that's out there.
What do you call me?
Miss Glass.
Miss Glass.
Miss Glass. All right. From the knees to the ankles, we got to make sure you protect it because you got to be on We Talk Weekly. So we need you on the show, all right? And so give a round of applause. You made it out today.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. And so I'm super excited. So, we have someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. You want to go right into that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go right into that. Give a round of applause.
So we we have the amazing Miss Carly Citron of Chalk Beat Philadelphia. Chalk Beat Philadelphia is led by Bureau Chief Carly Citron, who joined in March 2023. But she has been doing some phenomenal work.
Yes.
She came from Chalk Beat from Politico, where she covered New Jersey education, policy, and politics. And prior to her time at Politico, Carly worked as a reporter at NJ Spotlight News, covering school, cannabis legalization, and other policy issues, and also held the role of social engagement manager.
Love that.
And Carly also has bylines at Vox,
Whoa.
the Boston Globe, WBUR, Muck Rock, and Scripps Howard News Service. So she's just been busy.
Yeah,
But
sure.
she's gracing us with her presence tonight, and we're excited to have her. So let's give a warm We Talk
Give a
Weekly
round of
welcome
applause. Yes.
for Miss Carly Citron.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Let me make sure your voice is on. One more again.
I am doing
There she
great.
go.
I'm so appreciative. Thank you all so much for having me.
Oh, no, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming. Let's start there. But, one of the things that we do on the show, we go into the interview, but we got to ask how your day was. How are you? So tell us how you are.
Oh my gosh, I was so lucky. I've had a great day. We were at the Temple homecoming game today. They played great. Go Owls.
Yeah, go Owls.
Absolutely.
You an alma mater? That's your alma mater?
It's not mine,
Okay,
but it is
all right.
my fiance. So
Okay, then-
I've taken it on. I'm marrying into the family. I believe very strongly in the cherry way.
Fantastic. My frat brother came in from out of town. He was actually down here tailgating. So shout out to the
Yes.
Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So cool. So let's start. Let's jump into kind of some of the things that you're doing. You know what? Let's rewind because you've been everywhere. What is this like with you? I guess jumping into the media sphere and talking about politics, legalization of marijuana, child care, all of that. You cover the wide range of beats. Should I start there,
Yeah.
right? So how was that, and what got you into being in this sector of media and arts? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is such a great question. I mean, I think the through line with everything I've been lucky enough to cover is that it's issues and it's social issues that people really care about. And it's places where people from varying different communities come together, right? Everybody has a connection to a school. You all went to school, or you got kids who are in school, or your cousin went to school. Everybody went to school.
Everyone went to school,
And
yeah.
everybody shares really passionate feelings about education and about how it's going to shape our cities and our nation and our world for the future. And so I'm just really blessed and grateful to have been able to listen to as many people as I can throughout this process and try and elevate the voices of people who aren't always featured, front and center in our media narratives, and just trying to bring those voices to the forefront.
I love that you said that, because one of the things that We Talk Weekly stand on, I lead with a mantra that if you don't tell your story, someone else will. And they may not tell it in a way that's necessarily the case, right? And so I love the idea of amplifying those voices who doesn't necessarily have an opportunity or a platform, because that's who we give voice to, right? And so since we have a platform, we give that voice. And so we're excited to do so. So you in your travels and amplifying those voices, do you see any, I guess, specific needs or any vulnerable communities that stand out as of late that didn't necessarily, but now they need some voice or amplification?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially since the pandemic and
Yes,
since the
yeah.
pandemic closure specifically of schools, we've got a whole generation of kids who've got a lot of learning to do.
That's right, yeah.
A lot of folks who are out of schools who are now back in schools, or kids who had been in school for a year or two who then were pulled out and are now back. And so I think we're all just kind of reassessing where we're at and what we need, and then how to get there is that next step that I think a lot of folks are focused on now, is just how do we get the money, how do we get the
right, yeah.
time, how do we get the space to really do what needs to be done to get everybody back on track.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it was a conversation based around, or they always say once school is out for the summer, it's getting back in. They say it's the summer slide. I don't think anyone actually did a study on COVID slide, so to speak. What were the ramifications of that, and how did that hurt, our children and our youth, right? And I think that's something to look at moving in towards, like, now we're going into 2025, and that was what, 2-3 years ago? When was COVID? Three.
2020.
Yeah, wow.
I know.
It's been that long.
It feels
Oh,
so
wow.
soon
Yes,
for
yes, yes.
us.
Yeah.
It feels so soon for us, but I know for a lot of little kids and a lot of families with little kids,
Yeah.
They already don't have it's already 4 years ago. They already don't have a concept of it. Kids who are, entering first grade this year don't necessarily really remember what it was like already.
What's COVID? They don't know what COVID is. Interesting. They call it, these COVID babies are special. That's what they're saying. These COVID babies are special. They grew up, or they're growing up in this digital era, right? This whole idea of AI now, right? And something to worry about. I'm curious to know a little bit more about, some of the other things that, you found of interest in terms of, you partaking in, like, Politico and some of the other platforms you've been on, politics specific, because right now we're in this big kind of political crossfire, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's to put it lightly, right? So what are your thoughts on kind of like the political landscapes as we jump into the conversation on civics? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the path to the presidency runs through Pennsylvania and it runs right through Philly. So I'm sure I'm not the first one to tell everybody,
Yeah.
like, we are the deciding vote in a
Right.
lot of ways. So I've been really lucky to be able to spend my time going into high schools these past couple weeks and months to just see, how are our young people learning about civics and voting? What is being talked about? How are these discussions going? And then I was at a couple youth voting events these past few weeks to just talk to the young people to see, how do you feel? Like, what is going on? How do you feel about the state of the world? How do you feel about voting and civics and education in the future? And what, countless young people have told me is they're tired of being overlooked. They're tired of being ignored. They're tired of not seeing themselves represented in our political candidates and the issues that they bring to the forefront. So a lot of young people are on the ground trying to get each other registered.
Yeah.
The registration deadline is Monday, October 21st. People are just trying to get everybody signed up and get everybody on board because this is such an important election.
Yeah, we hear it also with some of the young people who we work with, and some of them are feeling that they're not being talked to, they're being talked at, right? And so what are some of the feelings that they have been sharing with you in terms of, these are my views, these are my challenges or my interests? What are some of the things you've been hearing? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're so insightful. They care really deeply about the minimum wage. A lot of our young people in Philly are working, right? They're working part-time, they're working after school, they're working before school. They need money. Their families need money. They said the fastest and easiest way to do that is up that minimum wage so that they can start, saving for college or contributing to their family. They also care really deeply about the violence in the Middle East. They really want their voices to be
Fantastic,
heard.
yeah.
We've seen, you know, a lot of protests in the city, and a lot of young people coming out and showing up. They all want safer, cleaner streets. Everybody wants to feel safe walking down the street, going to their school in the morning. You know, everybody cares really deeply about the gun violence and the car violence happening in the city, too. A lot of young people are also really concerned about the 76ers arena and what's going on with that, and they have a lot of strong feelings about it.
Wow, interesting. I haven't heard that from any, but that's great. That's great. Okay, so if there was one particular thing that, so I'll start with this. If there was a young person who came to you and said, you know what, I don't know if I want to vote because I don't know if my vote counts or my voice is being heard the way that I would like it to. What would you tell a young person about just them being civically engaged to particularly vote? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only way change is going to happen is if people speak up and get involved. That's the only way. If you feel passionately about something, or you feel passionately that you don't like the way that something is going, the only way you're going to be heard is if you, you know, kind of dig into it. And I think, especially in Pennsylvania and especially in Philly, your vote does count. It absolutely counts. I think I heard a city commissioner tell this story of a board race or a race that happened outside of the city in one of the suburbs, and it came down to something like 14 votes. And it's like, you really, your vote really does matter, especially in these down ballot, these local races where you're electing the people who are going to directly affect you and make choices that affect you. Your voice and your vote is really powerful. I think also, even if, you know, you're feeling really disengaged with the political process, there are all sorts of civic engagement groups. There are activists, there are groups going out and working with the community that, you know, if voting isn't your thing, which I think it's everyone's thing, and I think everybody should vote if you feel really passionately that it's not your thing. There are plenty of other ways to get involved. I know we've got reading captains around the city trying to get, you know, kids on their blocks to read. We've got block captains. We've got all sorts of really incredible programs that are helping people stay engaged.
And you mentioned something that a lot of people don't say, and that's the black captains, right? And they're part of the community. That's you civically engaging people who can do certain things that's directly affecting you. One of the things that I was very disappointed with, if I'm being transparent, was all of the downvote that you're talking about, all of the people that affects us directly. I haven't heard any promotion as it relates to them. All I hear is president, 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 right? So what accountability do we have to amplify that and hold people accountable for not even promoting what directly affect us? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you say accountability, you know, I immediately think of us in the media, and what our job is
right.
our job is to get the word out.
That's
right.
right.
And
Give
to
you a
tell
round of,
people.
that's right. There you go. Yes.
And so, you know, I think about the really great organizations that are part of Every Voice, Every Vote, that are putting out voter guides, that are doing everything, that are getting interviews with these candidates, that are doing their best to educate folks about what this position is and does, and who's running for the position and where they stand. And so, you know, it's on us to do everything we can to get that information out there. And it's on the people to just do a quick Google before Election Day and search, you know, the voter guide. I know Spotlight PA has a really great complete voter guide. Billy Penn always does a really great one. Yes. All the folks at Every Voice, Every Vote always, you know, try to really put out a lot of information. And all you got to do is Google it. Anyone can do it. I do it right before, you know, I make sure I'm set. They have all sorts of, if you go to the city commissioner website, they've got sample ballots where you can even look ahead of time to say like, oh, you know, this is what it's going to be like. These are the names I got to know. And you do, you know, a couple minutes of research before you go. Even when you're standing in line at the polls, just do a quick check. And it really goes a long way.
I love that. I love that. Just Google. Just Google. Real simple. If a young person asks you, well, I hear the idea of being civically engaged and playing my part. How would you define what civics is to a young person, being civically engaged?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's about how you interact with your city.
That's right.
Right? It's your community. It's showing ownership of where you live and where you're from or where you've moved to. And thinking about, you know, what are the things I don't so much like about my city or my community, and what are the things I really do like, and how can I transform the things that I don't like into things that I do like? What would I like to see better? And it's sometimes easy to think about, well, what's the thing I'm most passionate about? If I bike every day, I care really deeply about bike lanes, right? So then pick an issue, go really deep on that issue, find the people who are organizing around that issue, and go tag along and just see what that's about. If it's not bike lanes, it's something else. It's just what are the things that you feel passionately about that you'd like to change, and how do you think you can change them? And I promise you, there are people out there for every issue. There are people organizing on every side of every issue. There will be people there to welcome you in and to give you something to do and to give you a job and to sign you up.
Speaking of issues, right? This is Lauren's thing, right? This is Sizzle's thing. You have a thing you want to say?
Oh, go ahead.
So speaking of issues, right? One of the things that you're very passionate about is legalization of marijuana, right? I want to talk a little bit about that and to pull those layers back, because there used to be, or not too long ago, was this huge push to amplify that. It seems as if it was slowing down a little bit. I don't hear too much more about advocacy work behind the legalization of marijuana, especially who it pretty much affected the most, right? But what's going on right now in that sector as it relates to the legalization of marijuana? And do you think that there's opportunity for communities who suffered by way of policy that affected marijuana? Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta admit, I'm not as plugged in Pennsylvania as I was in New Jersey. I'm mostly, I'm all education in Philly, but
it's a national conversation.
It's a national,
it's
a national conversation, and there's so much intersection, especially when we're talking about young people.
That's right.
And so, I think the one thing that I did learn from covering it in New Jersey is that the activists are there. The activists for any issue are always there, and they're working hard. I think there's a different willingness in every state house. I think when you've got a state like Pennsylvania, which is really big and represents a lot of different people, certain voices are brought up in discussion, and certain ones are not always brought into the conversation. I think in watching the process in New Jersey, it was really hard. It was a really long process. They tried to get it done through legislation. They printed out hundreds and hundreds of pages of legislation. They couldn't even do it through the state house in deep blue New Jersey. It had to go to the ballot. And so I think what we're seeing in other states too is like the way to do it is to put it on the ballot and let the people choose and let the people speak. And the people have pretty much overwhelmingly spoken in favor of legalization in the cities and in the states that have put it on the ballot. But whether Pennsylvania will do that is not my decision.
Come on, y'all. Come on, what you doing? Hurry up, right? I think it's interesting conversation to be had as it relates to precedent that's set somewhere else, and we're right next to them, and it's like, okay, if you see it's working, what's going on over here, right? And so if you were, say, for example, in a leadership position like that, right? What policies would you set to make sure that, legalization of marijuana is consistent across the board? Would you do that, or do you think that certain areas may not be ready for that? Like, what's your thoughts on it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, there's a reason I'm not running for office.
Me too. Me too.
But I will say, in talking to folks who have been making these decisions in other states, the things that they've said really mattered are you got to be careful about the tax rate because you want to earn money off of it for the city and for the state. If that's the reason why you're doing it, you got to do it that way. You got to make sure there's money for schools or for, community groups if that's something that you prioritize. I think it's also what was interesting in New Jersey was how they navigated the expungement process and how folks who have been incarcerated for possession or use, how they were going to deal with that in the aftermath. And so there was a lot of discussion about, like, do we offer automatic expungements or do we have to have people apply for it? And so I think any policymaker who's considering legalization needs to think through these very real questions of, like, we spent a lot of time locking people up for this. And if we decide that it is now legal, what are we going to do for all those folks? Is it something that we do automatically, or is it something that we have people reach out and apply for? And so these are questions and conversations that I'm hoping that lawmakers are having as they consider this process. Right. I haven't spoken to any lawmakers specifically about this, so I don't have any inside knowledge. I'm with you guys on this, But yeah, when I've talked to other lawmakers in other states, it's, you just want to make sure that everybody's thinking through all the eventualities and learning lessons from the cities and states that have already done it, right? Like talking to your counterparts in New Jersey and going, what do you wish you'd done better? Or, you know, what could we improve upon? Or, you know, how could we do this differently if that's, you know, something that
Yeah, you know, Carly for president. Come on.
no. I do not need that kind of attention. It's only bad news.
Yeah, the smoke that both of them are getting right now is woo. So
I think Pennsylvania really needs to do something about it because, like you said, when it comes to those people who have been prosecuted over things like that, I've seen the process. You know, me coming from a law enforcement background, I've seen the process of, you know, the people who are going through, you know, getting the arrest and then going through the what they call the SAMS program, the small amount of marijuana program, and then not having the money to pay for the program. And then if you don't, they take the charge to trial and you're convicted of this crime. And then you have this on your record. So I really feel like, you know, if anything, it needs to be something done when it comes to, you know, trying to get those people, like, get those expungements. Like, don't let it be something that they have to apply for, because a lot of them don't know. They don't know that, you know, it stays on your record until you apply for an expungement and it's removed. So I just feel like, you know, Pennsylvania has a lot of work to do when it comes to that. So that's just my personal opinion, you know.
No doubt, no doubt. I want to get into family now, right? Because you're very knowledgeable on so many different sects and platforms. Mom, dad, family, siblings, do they have the same interests in like media and reporting? Like what are their interests like?
No, I did not come from a media family. I came from I really went rogue. I came from a long line of dentists, very respectable, responsible people. And I said, I'm not interested in anybody's mouths. Yeah. So that's not, or I guess I am interested in what comes out of your mouth. Yeah. But no. So my brother is actually he does sound design for video games out in Seattle, which is really cool. It's a really interesting industry. Yeah. My sister's in the restaurant industry. Okay. She's really crushing it up in New York. But my mom and all my family are right across the river in New Jersey. So I try and get back and visit as much as possible. I hear you.
Yeah. So what was the impetus? What was the trigger for you to say, you know what, I'm putting my foot down. It's certain people that need a voice. I need to jump in there. What was that?
Yeah, so I spent a year after I graduated high school. I was not ready for college. I didn't feel prepared. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Yeah. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't have money to do it. I didn't know what I was doing or how I even got here. So I took a year before college, and I spent some time in Ecuador, and I lived with a family there. And I didn't speak any Spanish when I started, and now I'm, you know, barely conversational. I've lost a lot of it. But what they kept telling me the whole time I was there was like, you know, just listen to us. Like, you don't have to talk. And I think because I didn't speak Spanish, I was forced to not talk. And it was the first time in my life where I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak what was in my head. And I think it was that forced silence and that forced listening was just like, whoa, whatever I have to say is useless. Like, it's what everybody else has to say that is so interesting and important. And people who've lived different lives than me, it's, you know, their voices are the ones that we need to be listening to, not my, you know, whatever I have to say. And so it was like that experience of really being put in a position of like, you know, I was very good in English class in high school, and all of a sudden the thing that you're best at, you can't do. And, you know, coming from another country, it's like, when people can't speak the native language, you have this assumption that they're dumb. And I think a lot of people just assumed I was, you know, dumb or couldn't learn, or why aren't you doing it? And it was that experience that really taught me, like, there's so much value in slowing down and listening to what people are actually saying. It's how you learn. I learned so quickly everything I needed to know just by being quiet and listening. And so it's something that I've tried to continue throughout this, you know, journey.
What was the culture like there?
It was very different. I mean, it was very communal. We all lived in a house together. It was very cold. It was in the Andes Mountains, which, you think of Ecuador being near the equator, but no, I was up in the Andes Mountains. A very close-knit family, very loving family. We still talk to each other on Facebook. Just really good, solid people who had a very set way of life and just wanted to kind of go about their lives. I mean, they had their gripes about their communities, just like anybody has their gripes about their communities. We have a lot more in common with everybody, I think, on this planet than we think. But yeah, it was just a really helpful and enlightening experience.
Yeah. I think you said something really profound that stood out for me, because I feel the same way. Sometimes, I mean, you didn't say this, but sometimes you just need to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
Just shut up and listen. I think oftentimes we don't listen. We listen to respond, right? We don't listen to take it in and listen to actually see what this person is saying. We just ready to respond so fast. No, you're wrong. And so I think we would be a better community, better, even when we talk about civic engagement, right? Part of that is listening to the people that you feel like you want to make change for, right? Yeah. And so if we do a better job with listening, I think we'll be in a better place. So I get it. Definitely. I love it. If it was one last thing that someone was sitting in front of you, and just as a hypothetical, and they said to you, because we get a lot of this, I'm just not voting. I'm just not voting. I don't care about it. I hate the candidates. I'm just not voting, right? What would you say to a person like that? Do you feel that there is space to allow them space to take a position like that? Or do you believe that, which is the current narrative, this is, which I hate to hear, this is the most important election of all time. We hear that all the time, right? And so what is your position on someone who actually stood in that? Do they have space for that? Is there space for that? And are they communicating with their voice by not saying anything? Like, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, first I want to say I get that. As someone who is steeped in politics, there are days when I wish I did not have to read the news. But I will say, so something I learned very recently from a teacher at the academy at Palumbo. He was a high school teacher who I sat in and visited. Shout out to Charlie McGeehan.
Okay. Give him a round of applause. No doubt.
He taught me something really interesting. And what he said was, a lot of young people, specifically high schoolers, especially people who can vote, are being beat over the head with this concept of it's important to vote. That's Voting matters. You have to vote.
Right.
And what he said is that message just falls flat if you don't let people come to that discovery on their own. So the way he's been structuring his high school classes, they start with the concept of voting, and they have this like Socratic seminar where they debate with each other, is voting a right or a privilege? Do you think everyone should vote, or should there be restrictions on voting? Do you agree with the age limit on voting? And they just start real small with like, what do you think about our voting system at all? And then they work up, and then they get to the issues, and they get to the politics, and they get to the Electoral College, and they get all to the all that kind of stuff later. But what Charlie said was, when you let people come to that discovery on their own, it hits so much harder and it sticks so much more. And so I think when you're confronting someone who says, I'm out, I don't care about it, politics isn't for me, it doesn't affect me, it's easier to start small and say like, what do you hate about voting? Is the answer you just can't be bothered? Is the answer you've got too much going on? Is the answer the process is really hard? Because that gives you an inroads, right? Then it's like, well, maybe we need to change the process to make it easier for people. Or, maybe we need to make politics a little bit more approachable. Or maybe we need to start with a singular issue that someone cares really deeply about and use that as an inroads to more conversation. But yeah, the lesson learned was, just telling people it matters is not going to have an impact. You have to help people come to that discovery on their own.
I love for president. You're president. So this is a wonderful interview. And one thing that we always say is, once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show, so you're always welcome to come back. So we would love for you to come back to have this conversation, more conversation. especially once we find out who the next president will be, because I'm sure that's going to be a huge topic, right?
Everyone
We
will
may
be
be
here.
making history, or we may go back to where we were before, right? Who knows, right? But at the very least, it'll be a conversation piece, right? What is the legacy that you would want to leave behind?
Oh my gosh. I mean, what's the legacy you all? I feel like we all just want to be remembered for being a good person, right? You want to be thought of as someone that did more good than bad. I think that's the bare minimum is you just want to use your time here to do things that help people and to not do things that hurt people and to hopefully, the good outweighs the bad.
Wow. Yeah. If good.
Oh, no. Well, I was just gonna ask, because we're just a few short weeks or days or whatever. Just doesn't seem like the time is just going by so fast. But
November 5th, right?
yes,
November
from
5th,
the
y'all.
election,
November 5th.
It's
Come
just
on.
it's insane. But what are some of the things you and Chalkbeat are going to be doing over these next couple days? Or
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Short
we've started rolling out our coverage. So we've I wrote a story recently about talking to youth voters. We've been
Love it.
going
Cool.
into high schools and talking about how teachers are teaching the election. We're going to be following up the day after. We're going to go back to these high schools and sit down with the students and say how did this process go. We're also we're part of Every Voice Every Vote, so we're going to be trying
shout
to
out to Every
boost.
Voice Every- yeah, absolutely.
Shout out. We're going to try and boost the work that other folks are doing because we're all in this together and, we are not high and mighty in any sense. So if you all are doing good work or you hear of other people doing good
That's
work,
right.
let us know. We'll use our position to be able to elevate the work that everyone's doing and just unite and get folks out there. And I think that's what we can expect.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So the age groups that you're primarily targeting is what? The ones that are voting age and almost, or
Yeah, I mean, we cover, so as Chalkbeat, we write about pre-K through 12. So
Okay.
we focus on schools coverage for anyone who's in the school system, whether you're in the public traditional schools, the charter schools, cyber charter schools, whatever school you're in, we've got coverage for you.
Okay.
But especially in the lead up, I think we are definitely focusing on the people who are voting age, voting for the first time, and the people who are watching their peers vote for the first
right,
time
that's
and what
right.
they're learning and what they're taking away because they're fired up and passionate too. There were some high school classrooms that said, we should lower that voting age to 16. We're ready to go.
They
Let us
ready.
get in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, they ready. But they still can be engaged in a process, right? Yeah, they still can be
Yeah.
engaged in a process.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways to get involved. Look up your block happens. Do a Google. I can't believe I'm here. My big statement is do a Google. Get out there. See what's out there.
yes.
Good, but, yeah. And so, if do Google,
Please.
that's funny. And so, working with the kids is a great thing, and I think when we talk to youth again is sometimes they become or feel that they are the voiceless, right? And so I love to give them a platform. And one thing that you mentioned is what we are here to do. We created this platform to give people like yourself, right, who are doing excellent work, and the partners at Every Voice, Every Vote, people who are in the community that's doing certain things that need to be amplified, right? It doesn't do any justice for you to do work and no one knows what you're doing, right? Because the resource seems unattainable, right? And so if we have this, one of our accountability or what we make sure that we're accountable for is to amplify that voice so the community can get those resources, right? So we appreciate you and some of the work that you're doing. So thank you for doing what you do. And what before we let you go, we want to know what things that you are working on that you feel people need to see and to know about, and tell us how they can get in contact with you and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very easy to get in contact with. I am on every social media. You can go to chalkbeat.org and you click Philadelphia. You'll see our names on there. It's got my email and all our contact information. We've got some exciting stuff coming up. This is actually a really exciting school year this year. We've got new English language arts curriculum. We've got this year-round school pilot program that's kicked off. We've got, a facilities planning process that is working down the line. It is a really exciting time to be in Philadelphia schools. And so I'd say just, tune in to Chalkbeat to see what's going on. We've got a texting project. We'll let you know when the school board meetings are coming up. That's another way to get involved. If you want to come see what's going on at your school board meeting, come on down. I believe it's next Thursday at 4 p.m. on 440 North Broad. I'll be there. I'll see you there.
You got to give a round of applause.
Come to the school board meetings, check on how it's going, and I would just say check out chalkbeat.org. We've got bureaus in a bunch of major cities across the country, so you can also see how things are going in Chicago or in New York or in Indiana or Colorado as well.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
So real quick, can you tell everyone who's watching, what is Chalkbeat? Why don't you give them an explanation and tell them a little bit about that so we can make sure people check them out?
Yeah, Chalkbeat is really, really cool. So we are a nonprofit news outlet, which means we operate as a nonprofit model. We write articles specifically about education in the schools. That's all we do. We are only focused on education. A lot of times a newspaper will do a bunch of different things, look at different policies. We are all education all the time. So we are devoted to that. All our stories are free. There's no paywall. They're also licensed under Creative Commons. So if you would like to republish any of our work, that's completely free. But yeah, it's a one-stop shop for anything you would need for education. We just recently put out a guide. It's probably a little late now, but if you went to back to school night, we had put out a guide of here's some questions you could ask when you go to your kids' back to school night, because I know people are really busy. We try and put out a guide every winter about early childhood education, so how to access the free pre-K in the city. All sorts of other resource guides and just information. We do recaps of every school board meeting. If you can't make it, we'll go for you. We'll tell you what happened. A bunch of other stuff. So if you're interested in what's going on in the schools, we've got it for you.
Fantastic. I want to just give this gentleman a voice, Liberty Twitch. I mean, he was asking a lot about, immigrants' right to vote and how they're feeling that they're being hushed and rights are being taken away from them. But one thing that he's very interested in is, and I'll pull this up, the website again. So if you can give them that information so he can check it out and all that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so chalkbeat.org, chalkbeat.org. We've got information about the schools. If you're looking for a complete voter guide with a lot of information about voting, you can check out Spotlight PA. Our sister or brother site is VoteBeat. So if you have questions about being disenfranchised, our reporters over at VoteBeat, VOTEBEAT, they also have a lot of interesting stories and resources over there as well. And any of the Every Voice, Every Vote partners as well. We really
doing some great work out here, y'all.
We're really shouting them out today. But if you check out the Every Voice, Every Vote platform, they also have a collection of all sorts of resources there as well.
That's right. And you'll see We Talk Weekly over there, y'all. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And however you identify, right? We're here to give voice to everyone who are doing some excellent work. And so make sure you continue to tune in. One more time, how can I get in contact with you again? One more time, sure.
Check out chalkbeat.org. My email address is csitrin@chalkbeat.org. You can find me on any social media. I'm Carly Citrin. I think I'm the only one out there. They did spell my name wrong in the Office of Property Assessment, but I'm working on getting that fixed. If anyone's listening from the Office of Property Assessment, please call me. But I should be really easy to find.
All right, there you go. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to jump right into another interview, someone with whom we have a tremendous amount of respect for. It's a lot of things that's going on, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. I'm your boy, Charles Gregg, with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful
Carly.
she got the memo. We'll be right back after this, y'all.
We just want to get a little background as to who the Fantastic Noise is and the noisemakers, if you can let us know.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, I am Fantastic Noise. I am the original noisemaker, so no one's going to make as much noise as me, okay? And right here we have the Noisemaker Band. This is only half of it. The other stuffs are upstairs. My Kevin Lamar, Lonnie, and Dobbs, who are the actual band members. These are the background singers. And we came to make some noise. We came to bring that noise today. That's what we said we'd do. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did you guys get together?
Oh man, so it started with, I've been doing this on my own for almost 3 years now. And man, I guess each of these people here have different background stories. Most of us went to the same church together, and we just kept going. This one, her, this is one of my assistants here, one of like my biggest supporter, my biggest shooter here. She's an assistant, so we just been building, and the same thing with upstairs with the band, just meeting through people, kept networking, kept seeing, and it was just like God ordained. Bam, here we are.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, could you guys do We Talk Weekly a favor?
Yes.
Can you give us a drop in a melody type way?
Oh, a Millie type way?
Yes.
Okay. So we talk weekly?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do something like this. We talk weekly, come and hear us. We talk weekly, come and hear them. 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 We talk weekly, come and hear them.
What's going on? This your favorite fly guy, Charles Gregory. We Talk Weekly. Listen, everyone always asks me, they inbox me, email me, all type of things. We're trying to find your podcast. I mean, we can find your videos everywhere. All we have to do is go to WeTalkWeekly.com, or all we need to do is go to YouTube, or all we need to do is turn on Business Bully Channel, turn on Higher Than 7, turn on, we can find you. But sometimes I just want to work out and I want to listen to your podcast. I want to hear the latest in the sizzle, entertainment news, or good news and bad news, or just simply, I want to hear the interviews, from music, anything sports. I just want to listen. I don't know where to find your podcast. I said, you know what? It's real simple. All you have to do is ask the right person. Watch this. Hey Alexa, play We Talk Weekly's podcast.
Here's We Talk Weekly from Amazon Music. Here's where you left off in the latest episode. Olivia Jade Red Table Talk, Kevin Hart Backlash for Netflix special No F's Given, and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. And I'm your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
See, I told you. It's not that hard, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is ask the right person. Ask Alexa. Look, I'm out here. Thanks for watching. Keep supporting. Keep subscribing. Keep telling people to chime in. We out here like last year. I love. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk on WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weekly's After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And we are back. Dynamic interview. I liked her.
Yes.
She talked a little bit about our young people and them being civically engaged and some of the things that they can do to get engaged, right? And so I love that interview. When we talk about our young people, I get excited because people don't know. We got to engage them. If not, they can be doing things they ain't supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
So we don't pay attention to them. They want to pay attention, but to certain things that they probably shouldn't be paying attention to, right?
Exactly. And that's exactly what they're
No
going to
doubt,
do.
yeah.
They're going to do stuff they have no business doing.
That's
so
right,
you
that's
got to
right.
keep them engaged.
So I heard you want to talk about something. Spit your bars. Spit bars.
Yes. So I just wanted to point out this little story here. So Bath and Body Works is apologizing for selling candles that look like Ku Klux Klan hoods.
What? Wait. What?
Yes, and I should have
send me no
sent you a
pictures.
Well, this wasn't in my sizzle, but I was just like, this needs to be talked
You
about.
send me the picture? I gotta look. I'm gonna Google like she
I'm
said.
gonna
Just
show
Google.
you the picture on my phone.
Oh wow, they drawn. They drawn.
So, according to CNN, Bath and Body Works comes out every I think winter season with different lines, candles. They have the body gel, the body sprays, the body lotion, all that good stuff, the hand sanitizer and everything. Well, this year they rolled out its candle called Snowed In, and it features a like a paper snowflake, but it kind of.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to pull up the picture. Go ahead, you keep talking, and I'll pull up the picture.
So it definitely does look like
Yes, it does. What
the,
are they
the
doing?
KKK clan, the Hoods.
Oh my.
So they put it out there, pictures and everything. So many people on social media, of course, started comparing it to the hoods and the robes that are worn by KKK. And we all know that KKK is one of the most notorious hate groups
yeah.
in the whole history of America.
What are they doing?
So the Anti-Defamation League says that the imagery of the KKK hood itself has become a hate symbol. So Bath and Body Works has pulled this candle from its inventory, and they pulled it from online after all this. They did release a statement saying that at Bath and Body Works, we are committed to listening to our teams and customers and committed to fixing any mistakes we make, even those that are unintentional, like this one. We apologize to anyone we've offended and are swiftly working to have this item removed and are evaluating our process going further. So, of course, a lot of people were looking for this candle after they had took it down.
I'm
And
sure.
after the image of this candle had went viral, everybody was looking for it. So if you want to get this candle,
No, don't
which
even
is-
tell them where to get this candle. No,
Don't
no,
tell
no,
'em where to
no,
get
don't,
it.
No. I'm about to show it in a minute.
well,
I'm just-
well, listen. People were commenting on Reddit, and they named it the Clandle, KLANDLE, or Clan Christmas Candle for KKK.
What in the world?
Exactly. So all those who had already had their orders were canceled. But there are people who had this candle that was trying to sell it on eBay for $350.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So
I think I got it. Hold on.
So, a spokesperson for eBay said that eBay policies prohibit listings that include racist items or language. Any items being marketed again using racist language will be blocked or removed. So, this is just. What's your thoughts? Is this just a bad look on?
All right, so I pulled the picture. All right, y'all. So I mean, listen. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna say this, right? It's confusingly similar, very
Yes.
similar.
Yes.
However, I just think the marketing, the placement is bad. If they would have put the whole, it looks
The
like
whole thing
the
up,
whole,
it would have been a different
exactly
look.
because if you know how you do the snowflake thing and you cut it
Right.
and
Yeah,
you fold it and cut
right.
it. That's what it is. Literally, you
Exactly.
can
That's
tell
exactly
that's
what- you can
exactly
tell
what it is.
that's what it is,
You can
yeah.
tell what it is. So if you give context, that's the problem.
Right.
If you gave context, right, it would be a little different, and that's what that is. So I would just
Exactly.
say I don't think it was intentional, and I'm as black as it come, and I'm unapologetically black. I don't care how you feel that I'm unapologetically black, but this right here, I come on, like I can see that was
Exactly.
yeah, that's people reaching, they reaching,
Yeah, but
especially when you put it directly next to this picture.
Yeah.
But I do see the resemblance. Like you can't hate.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. Yes.
Yeah, but I think Bath and Body Works did the right thing
Yeah.
by removing the candle.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because it wasn't intentionally done. And I don't think I've ever heard of Bath and Body Works doing anything like this.
No.
Like, whereas, I don't want to put Gucci out there. Remember that we gonna ban Gucci. We not wearing Gucci. How long did that ban last before people were running out getting Gucci stuff?
I know, right?
But like, I think they did a good thing by removing that, because even if some people may see it like, oh well, they didn't know, that they shouldn't have to take it down. But then there's some people that are going to be offended by that. They're going to say that definitely looks like that. They need to remove it. I'm offended. So I think they did the right thing.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing too. And one thing that I know they had, it looks like this isn't up. I was just going to go to the thing, but they actually had this initiative where Bath and Body Works were working with diverse like distributors, diverse suppliers, right? And so they have a background in, you know, working with people in the community. So I don't think that they would have did anything like that. So I mean, I'm not kidding. I don't even get anything from Bath, and that's a woman's store, ain't it? Bath and Body Works.
I don't believe they have any men's stuff, but I think at the same time, they're getting ready to come into their season of where they make probably the most amount of money is the holiday season.
The candles.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The candles, the sets, the bath, the you know, shower gel and all that stuff. They make so much money during this time, so I think they're probably just like, we better take this down before it starts, you know, somebody starts a movement and it's like boycott Bath and Body Works.
No doubt. All right. No doubt. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Look, do you believe that if you get the candle, do you believe it looks like the KKK? It kind of do. You can't hate it, kind of do. But I don't think it was intentional, just bad optics. They needed to put the whole star on there so
they did.
people can kind of get the message. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know what we got coming up next? We got another interview.
Yes.
We got another interview, and it's someone with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. I couldn't wait to interview this dynamic. Look, just wait, because we're going to talk some music. We're going to talk a lot of the things that they're doing. We're really excited about this. So why don't you let us know, who do we have on today?
So we have the amazing dynamic duo Coffee Brown, comprised of V and Fonz. They entered the stage and took the charts, dance floors, and house parties by storm. Their debut single, After Party, released in 2001, became an instant smash, paving the way for their critically acclaimed album, Mars Venus, offering a unique perspective on male and female relationships. So Coffee Brown's name itself speaks volumes about their approach, unique in a sea of unoriginal ideas that lack creativity. V and Fonz created a magical moment for music fans globally, combining astonishing melodic composure, a unique lyrical style, and undeniable musical grace. So as the duo rose a wave of success with music videos, world tours, and red carpet appearances, their journey took an unexpected turn. Fonz decided to leave the industry, marking the end of an era. However, V, the female counterpart, continued to make waves in the R&B scene, collaborating with heavyweights like Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans. So let's give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome for the amazing Coffee Brown.
Let's go. How are you?
Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Hello, guys.
Hey.
How are you?
There
What's
you
up,
go.
guys? How you doing?
There we go.
Awesome.
Yes, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All I see, you know, AV, all I see is teeth. All I see is your bright whites. There we go.
Yeah.
Much better. Yes.
It's nighttime. It's nighttime.
There we go. We see you now.
I'm traveling. How about that? Is that better?
Yes.
We
We
need-
need to see that beautiful face.
Thank you. I'm here. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for asking. And thank you for having us on.
Awesome.
Yes, I
appreciate
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, you know, with everything that's going on today in the environment, the political landscape and all that, mentally, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. Listen, we all have to just take it in
Yes.
and make our decisions on whatever it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Persevere,
absolutely.
push through. We're doing good. We're doing all right.
Absolutely.
I'm so
Absolutely.
glad to hear that. We like to ask, you know, our guests that because there's so much going on now, and when you talk to people, it's like you're like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, how you doing? And it's like you never really paying attention to how they're really doing, because some people are actually going through. So I'm glad to hear that, you guys are doing well. So
Yes,
let's
thank
Yeah,
God. We're
thank you,
doing
thank
well.
you.
Thanks for asking.
absolutely.
How are
So
you
let's
How
doing?
are
How
you
are you
guys
doing?
doing?
I'm
Right.
all over the place. I'm struggling. Every this time of year is rough for me with my sinuses. I always get the sinus infection and all that, but other than that, I'm doing great.
At least you look
You and
good.
me both, girl. I've been sneezing and sneezing and sneezing and
Uh
sneezing.
huh.
But other
Oh
than
my
that, we're
gosh.
doing great.
That's good. That's good. So let's get right into Coffee Brown. So how did you guys how did you guys meet?
So we so let me say this. London came out to ask us to perform, and so a mutual friend of ours, Freeze, he said, "Hey, V, I have somebody," because I didn't have anybody. Because as you
Mm,
guys know, Palante decided he no longer wanted to do this, and so
mm,
I was looking someone to replace him, and so Freeze said, "I think I have somebody that I think will work perfectly with you." And so
mm,
me and Ryan talked on the phone. Never met each other, but we talked on the phone, and we were going to go to London, but again, COVID came, and so they shut that down. So moving forward, yeah, yeah. And so then moving forward, Germany called. And when Germany called, I reached back out to Ryan and said, "Hey, are you still interested in Coffee Brown?" He said, "Absolutely." So we got together. And again, we had never ever seen each other until we began to rehearse the for the show in
Show in
Germany.
Germany.
And that's
mm.
when
Mm-hmm.
we first met, like face to face. We talked over the phone, but we never met face to face until then. And so we went to Germany. Excellent show. Excellent. Everything was great. So that's how we met.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Did you, I mean, were you nervous about, how everything was going to play out, since, you didn't officially meet in person for a while?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I was. Because
Yeah.
in the music industry, um, people people that are artists, they have their own um, what's the word I'm looking for? They have their own agenda on what they want, how they want to perform, how they want to come across, everything. Especially if you're a solo artist, which
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, after he was in a group, he was a solo artist. But the thing for me was, it was a blessing that because he was once in a group, he knew how to blend. He knew how to, us to take and have our thoughts with one another, and so that was a great thing because
Yeah.
he knew. Because again, that it's hard when you are a solo artist, right? Or you have your own agenda on what you want, right? But because he was in a group before, he knew how to fold right in.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
also, just to add on top of that, we instantly just bonded when we met. It was one of
Wow.
those things where like we spoke on the phone once or twice, but it was like after we got in the same room with each other, it just really all just came together. So, from there, we would just blend in, rehearsing and getting our things in order. And I really feel like after Germany, it was like, all right, like we got this. You know what I'm saying? So we came back from Germany. We had a few more gigs in New York and New Jersey. And it's been really dope. It's been a lot of fun. So
Absolutely.
I'm happy to have been embraced so wonderfully.
No doubt, no doubt. So I'm curious,
I need to
right?
get my girls some glasses.
Shout out, everybody shout y'all out. You got people, hi, how you doing? Love me some Coffee Brown. They shout
Yes.
you
What's
out.
up, y'all?
You know,
Hi,
it's like Kimberly Christian.
hi
Hey,
guys.
shout out to Kimberly. Kimberly, like our extended kind of co-host out there. She be checking out We Talk Weekly, so we appreciate her. But
Hey,
I'm
Kimberly.
interested. Ryan, did you feel like you had big shoes to fill? Was it was it some anxiety? Did you feel a little apprehension? How did it feel when they reached out to you and said like, yo, we giving you the red carpet, you gonna walk or not? How did that feel?
Yeah. It wasn't any apprehension at all because like all of us black folks, we all love that after party video. And I felt like I was in that video. I was already a part of that to begin with. But no, I do know it was some big shoes to fill because Palanche can sing his ass off and V as well. But then also it was also like a crunch time too, where I think it was like mid-September. We left for Germany in like October. So I had to learn these songs within like 2
Absolutely.
weeks. So it was a lot of work. But once again, I've been in groups before and I've had to like pick up a song in a day or so. So I just felt like all the things I've been doing over these years helped me in this process. You know what I mean? Even I've been in a male group before, but even being with a female this go around, I know the respect and the love I do have for black females as well. So
I love that. Yeah.
I didn't feel any way at all. V definitely made sure like I felt comfortable, but I was also doing the things I had to as far as like, keeping up with the songs and doing my thing. So I wasn't nervous,
Right.
but it was a lot of work for sure.
No, for sure. And I appreciate that. And, real quick, Coffee, she's like, I can't wait to see y'all on stage. I can't wait to see y'all on stage. Shout out to Kimberly. We love her. So this is for V. So V, did you did you feel nervous? Like, will this work? Will we click? Like, cause you said literally you didn't know, but someone had that and was like, yo, this will be the perfect fit. What was actually going through your mind at that point?
Okay, so I'm gonna be completely transparent.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you a round of applause real quick. Here we go.
Yeah.
We talk weekly.
So I'm praying like, God, please let this work out. Please let this guy be a perfect blend. First of all, of course, we always worry about the voices blending together. But then I also wanted the personality, the spirit, everything to like blend together so it wouldn't be any issues, And that's exactly what happened. We got together and it was almost, and I'm not playing, it was almost as if we've known each other for years.
Wow.
So God answered my prayers because I prayed, first of all, I prayed to come back out because I was ready to sing again. I was ready to entertain again. I missed it so much. And he came right in and it was like, it was like a hug. Yeah.
Fantastic. Ryan, what's your thoughts, Ryan?
Hug me again, friend. Hug me one more time. Give me another one. Yeah.
Hold on. Let me step out real quick.
We're going to hug again. Hug me one more time, B. Hug me one more time. Yeah,
there you go. Eleanor said, hey, kids, how y'all doing?
What's
These
up,
two
Al?
are so talented. Miss you, Ryan. And so, how does it feel to have, fans that love you guys so much and that's willing to support you and just whatever you do, they got you. They got your back. How does that feel?
So this is the thing. For the fans that have been there since day one, it is like, it is such, I can't even tell you in words. It's like, so, I appreciate it so much, right? Because this has been 24 years, almost 24 years. It has been 24 years. I appreciate it so much. I didn't even know that people were still listening to the song. Ryan said to me one day, V, do you not understand that your after party is like huge on TikTok? And I was like, what? Because I wasn't on TikTok. And so he said, yes, you need to go on TikTok and see. And it was thousands and thousands of videos on TikTok. And I was just, I was so like, I was so humbled and I was so emotional and all of that, and because I thought that, as an artist, when you're having nobody hasn't heard from you in a while, you feel like no, nobody's listening to our stuff, no, blah, blah, blah. But that's not what it was. People have been riding with us for all of these years, and I'm so grateful.
Wow. So, what do you think is missing? Now that was there when you guys started making music back in 2001. How has music changed?
Well, I feel like music will change in reference to how you feel, what it makes you feel like, right? Because music is supposed to heal you, to give you a message. Like it's supposed to take you on a journey. Whatever you're going through in life, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to,
Yeah.
it's supposed to, something's supposed to ring in your ear when you turn on the radio to say, hey, you're gonna be okay, or hey, leave that Negro, or hey,
Yes.
girl, you the bomb, you the fire, whatever it is. It's supposed to give you that. And I just feel like with that, it's a lot in quote unquote R&B music.
Interesting. So V, you're like black royalty. You're black excellence, right? And it's something to say. No, truly, Ryan, like the brand in itself, right? What you guys, have built is it speaks for itself, right? And so as we go into 2025 and so on and so forth, and all of our legacy dynamic people are passing away, they're no longer here with us, right? And so how does that make you feel in terms of leaving that legacy music, and you guys still, you guys are still here, right? And so how does that feel in now taking a space where we have a new generation coming, and that music is a little different, the sound is different. Not saying that there's anything wrong with the sound, right? We innovate, things change, right? But when we talk about classics, the soulful music, I believe it was Tyrese and saying something about R&B is dead, something like that. What in all of that in context, what's your thoughts on where R&B is and the soulful music and all of that? Where are we now?
That's very interesting because we get asked this question a lot as far as like where is R&B and the state of R&B. Just to add on what you were saying as far as the brand of Coffee Brown. Coffee Brown is one of those things that it hasn't been done before. KG came up with the idea to do like a male-female perspective, but I mean, of course, we've had like Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell and duets happen, but like as far as like a blueprint of a male and perspective female, it hasn't been done before. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in ways, a bunch of people are just tired of hearing one half of the story. You know what I'm saying? Like it isn't always what the guy's opinion is or what the actual female's opinion is. I really feel like as far as R&B, people has lost love of the music and what they hear, as we spoke about before. I feel like everything is just so watered down. Like it's about making a TikTok and it's about, like twerking and shaking ass and doing all of that, which is fine if that's what you are into, you know what I'm saying? But like as far as like music, like it's not dead. It's been here this whole time. I just feel like a bunch of us are brainwashed at this point. You know what I'm saying? We've been so programmed to only hear one part of the song. People ain't doing bridges no more. R&B songs are about the bridge.
That's right.
Like that's the best part of the record, So I just honestly feel like it's not dead, especially what Puffy Brown has started 24 years ago and what's happening right now. We are definitely bringing back that male perspective, that female male perspective, and also like just great R&B songs and love songs, like with storylines and real concepts. You know what I'm saying? So R&B is not dead. It's actually back. You know what I'm saying?
Fantastic. V, you wanted to jump on that? I see you shaking.
Absolutely,
She like,
absolutely.
yes, keep talking. No.
Yeah.
I can't even see her while I'm talking.
I'm sorry you can't see me. I'm sorry. But listen, I feel this is what I also feel like. Outside of Coffee Brown, because Coffee Brown is definitely bringing back R&B music. But there are also genius minds that's also bringing back R&B music. If you October London, that man sings. You know what I'm saying? Like that is strictly R&B music. You know what I'm saying? And so it's coming back. It's just it's just a fight to get back, right? Because we're so used to trap music, we're so used to the quote unquote R&B music, but it's somebody rapping over the R&B music, or you talk about, I'm not gonna say those words, but anyway. Yeah, it's coming back, and I know that it's gonna come back. I have no doubt about that, because there are a lot of artists out there outside of Coffee Brown that wants the R&B essence to come back. And I agree with you when you talk about the people before us that gave us messages on how to hold on to life, how to work through our problems. We talked about love, talked about relationship, talked about families. That's what we need. And I feel like it's making its way back. It's slowly, but it's going to come back. Because again, everything regurgitates.
Yeah.
It's going to come back. What we're listening to now, it's here right now, but people are dying for R&B real messages in the music. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And some real singing. Real
It's
vocals.
real
Yes. No auto-tune.
I know, right? I want to pull this up. Kimberly says, classic transcends time, no matter what era, and some music will go on forever. This new stuff is literally for a moment. She goes on to say, so we appreciate artists who have longevity, especially with R&B. It's not dead, but there are some who still carry the love, and I'm grateful for those artists. It is needed, especially love. And she said, yes, Ryan, you took the words right out my mouth. And V, she said, yeah, October London is definitely dope. And so,
Absolutely.
no doubt. So, I do want to give homage to Kindred the Family Soul, right? We talking about a soul group who are husband and wife who has been doing the work and putting work in. And I think that when we consider where music is going, right? Do you believe, and I'm asking you too, do you believe there's a necessary it's an obligation of you guys who have been in the industry for a long time? Do you think it's an obligation of y'all to reach back out to the new generation and say, hey, this is where you may want to go or live in a pocket? Do you believe that it's space for that particular thing, or do you believe that there's something that needs to happen where it needs to be more conversation when it comes to an older generation versus a newer generation? What's your thoughts?
So my thought on that is this. Back in the day, they used to have music conferences. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, it used to be music conferences where you can come, whatever artist was hot at that point, you would come, you would have conversations with those artists, and you would talk about development. You would talk about what you're talking about, what message you wanted to bring to your fans, right? I think today, that everything comes with growth. we can go and say to, I'm not going to throw out any names. We can say whatever we want to say to the hottest artists right now, right? But because they have not lived what we live, they may not understand it. So they have to stay in the lane that they're in right now until they live, and then they can. And what you all know, and your audience knows, life experiences allows you to write differently, decade after decade after decade. So that's what I feel. I feel like I'm not knocking anyone. You know, if you speak your truth now, speak whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, speak it now. And I think that growth, life experiences will allow you to continue to grow and you know, speak about different things if the industry allows you to stay in it that long to do so.
Ryan, you heard me? I said, what's your thoughts, my brother? What's your thoughts, Ryan, on that? You know?
Oh, it was going in and out.
That's
As far as the new generation and getting them schooled on the R&B, there's a lot of kids out there who definitely know some good old school music. You know, I hear some kids be like, "Oh, I know Luther Vandross," so you know, like I know who like Prince is or what have you. You know, I really feel like a bunch of them are getting the information from TikTok, but TikTok is not telling them like what they need to learn. You got to do your homework. You know, I grew up on Atlantic Star and all of these people, and it was before my time, but I know what good music sound like. You know, so I just really feel like it depends on the kid. It depends on the parents. You know, these parents are also very young. So if you in a house playing Sexy Red, that kid don't want to hear Sexy Red. You know, but but I know for me growing up, moms was playing Gladys Knight, Aretha Franklin, where like I got that homework and it just made me like dive into, you know, even in the booklet, reading the backgrounds, who produced it, who was the engineer. You got to do your homework, I feel like, in order to have that longevity in the music industry. It's happening right now, but I just really feel like you know, we just need more of the positivity. So this is what these kids are feeding off of versus the, you know, which ain't nothing wrong with the TikTok, because I be TikToking too. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, you know, we got some work. I just feel like once again bringing back love. Any song that you hear, to me, it could be a rap song. You still feel the love in that song. You know, you still feel the passion from what this person is writing and talking about. So it's about bringing back love, I feel like, you know?
There you go. So V, they coming in. They said, I'm just so happy and blessed to see y'all journey. Y'all know I love y'all. She goes on to say, will always be your number one friend. And I had to listen to this. I had to read this twice. I ain't heard this one, so I gotta amplify this one. Friend/fan is number one friend. All right, y'all got that? She's your number one friend. All right, so V, you know, I gotta ask you though. She froze. You still there? She go. I see that smile right there. So V, I gotta ask you, knowing
I'm
what
here.
you,
I'm here.
I got you. Knowing what you know now, if you knew then, what would you change, or what would you have done differently?
Oh, what I would have done differently is kept moving. I would have not stopped. I would have not stopped. It didn't matter whether or not Falante wanted to do it or not. I would have never ever stopped. I would have kept moving. That's what I would have done.
That's a great question. I love that.
What's the legacy you would like to leave?
So my legacy, I would like to leave because I first love. I grew up on music. My mother was a singer. My mother's uncles was a singer. My family has been singing and playing music for forever. And so my legacy I would like to leave is I'm an entertainer, I'm a storyteller, and I want to entertain until I can't no more. I want to be able to when they lay me down, I want them to be able to say that woman was first a beautiful soul. That's number one. Number two is just an entertainer, funny, love to laugh, love to have a great time, and love to entertain the people.
Fantastic. What about you, Ryan? What's the legacy you want to leave, my brother?
Oh man, B was saying some really good stuff.
I
I'm
know,
like,
right?
yeah, man, yeah.
Hold on real quick. Let me give her a round of applause. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely a legacy that I want to leave behind, honestly. Just as V mentioned, like my spirit, but I want people to also just feel me, like
Yeah, yeah.
when you see my picture, you can see like, yo, he's a cool, fun, fly dude. If you hear my songs, like you really feel what I'm talking about and what I'm like trying to express. I always think about it, if I was a blind person and I couldn't see anything, I want to still be able to feel you the same way if I could visibly see you. You know what I'm saying? So I just like, for me, it's just always been impact. I'm also a teacher as well. I love to inspire and give and just have people feel me. I feel like I wear my heart on my sleeve. I try to be as raw and authentic as possible, and I just want people to feel that. I just want people to just feel exactly what I'm giving them. You know what I'm saying?
No
So I
doubt.
feel like that would be my legacy. If it's music, if it's teaching, if it's anything, I just want people to just
I feel you, bro.
fight
I
for my
feel you,
life.
brother. I feel you,
Yes.
brother. I feel you.
But you feel what I'm saying? Like,
I feel you. I got you. I got you. V.
Yeah.
So listen. So who inspires you? Who that that you can, you listen to, or that you turn on the TV and you like, I gotta open up my book and start penning. Who inspires you like that?
So the first person that inspired that is my mother. And after that, I love Jasmine Sullivan. I love
Shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Philly.
yeah,
Yep, no doubt.
I love she's a great writer. I love her. I love Fantasia. I love
Fannie Mae.
Mary.
Okay.
There's so many that I can name that really, when you listen to them, you really want to tap in and be like, you know what, I gotta get on my game, so it's like, I can name so many others.
Yeah.
Lettucey. I love Lettucey. I love,
Okay, yeah.
there's so many, Jill Scott. There's so many I can go on and on and on
Yeah,
and
no,
on
for
and
sure. Yeah.
on. But we have so many great artists, that we can tap into, that we see, that we hear, that inspires us, that, I've been listening to Anderson Pratt. He is like, mind blowing, and I'm really just I was listening to him, but when you listen more and more and more, so it's so many different artists. But that's the great thing about us as a people, that we are so talented, that we've gone through so many different experiences, that we can tap into that, and we can put out great music, great messages. I can go to gospel. It's so many. Kiara Shears, PJ Morton, and so many people. You know what I'm saying? It's so many people that are our people, that inspire me to want to be the best that I can be.
Fantastic. I felt you too right there, V. I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah, man.
So I'm gonna throw you a curveball, right? I'm gonna throw
Okay.
you a curveball, V.
Okay.
So you've been here. You etched your name in stone right here. You Black excellence, right? So I want you to tell me, because everyone knows about you. So this is the curveball. I want you, because you being chauffeured around right now. I see it. The pearly white's been smiling, so that's all good, right? So I want you to dig deep in that duffel, that purse, that Birkin you got sitting next to you, right? And I want you to tell me the one thing that no one else knows about V that you could, even Ryan don't even know, right? I want you to dig deep in that and tell us, when we talk weekly, what's the one thing no one else knows about V that you letting us know today?
Ooh, one thing that nobody knows about me. I wanna. You're making me emotional right now. I want people to always know that I am coming from a genuine place of thankfulness, of gratefulness, of the only thing I want to do is entertain and you guys be able to feel me, understand me, and be able to rock with me.
Fantastic, fantastic. And with that said, right? That's wow. Let me give you a round of applause for that real quick. You know, with that said, right? What would you tell, a little brown girl, right? That's looking at you, watching this interview right now, and you inspired them. What would you tell them if they wanted to go down your path? What would you tell her?
Believe in yourself. Never ever question yourself. Always, when you say a little girl, always listen to your parents, because if they love you, they're always going to guide you in the right direction. But more than anything, always tap into you. Don't try to be like nobody else. Always be who you are. Nobody else. Nobody else around you. Don't try to talk like them. Don't try to dress like them. Don't try to act like them. Tap into who you are as a person. And again, it starts with your parents. Because when your parents pour into you, you always can end up great. If you just listen and go into not just your parents, your teachers. Because you're talking about a little brown girl. So your teachers, whatever it is, always, 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 always first believe in you. Don't let anybody else navigate who you are.
Wow. Fantastic. That time went real fast. So listen, I would be remiss if I didn't, because y'all got fans. Let me put some of these. Ryan, they said big softy. You said I feel you, Ryan. They feel you over here, right? Eleanor said, and you're so inspirational for so many, Vic. So they're loving that right now. 1,000%. That's 10,000%. No, that's 100,000%. I got a couple zeros on that, right? And so. I'd be remiss if we didn't ask to hear something. We got to hear something. Come on. Let me take myself off of here, but I'll let y'all decide. But we got to hear something before we let y'all go.
Well, we definitely want you guys to play our new single, which is called About It. Featuring Uncle Vinny of Naughty by Nature is on all streaming platforms right now. Please go download that. And we actually got
talk about that real quick.
Yeah, why don't we talk about that before we hear something? Why don't y'all tell everyone the latest projects that y'all have going on? Because we definitely want to hear that, and how they can get in contact with you and all that good old stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So we got as I mentioned before, we got a new joint out produced by KG, and it's also featuring Vin Rock of Naughty by Nature. You can reach out to us on all streaming platforms. Coffee Brown Music everywhere. Our email as well. We got a project on the way. We got a new single on the way. We got some shows coming out. We are booked and blessed. Like, we got some stuff going on. So please be on the lookout and keep in contact with us. We're on all social media platforms, Coffee Brown Music, all across the board.
And our new single is called About It. And it's talking about, the theme of it is talking about, listen, if everybody on here is grown, right? Yes. So it's talking about us getting together and being together and all of those things.
We definitely talking our shit on there. We are definitely talking some grown folks some grown folks topics, but it's still a great song. It's also empowering too, where we're telling the people like, yo, you gotta be about it. Be
Whatever it
about your
is.
business. Yeah, be
Absolutely.
about your business, about your fitness, about your kids, about
Whatever
yourself.
it
Like,
is.
it's just really
Absolutely.
popping your shit. Yeah. I think I think his thing froze again. There you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
All right, y'all gotta give us something. We gotta hear something before we let y'all. I mean, because I'm telling you, all y'all fans on right now gonna be cussing us out. You ain't even asked them. How come you ain't say nothing? Y'all just, we talk. This is what we do. We talk weekly, right? So y'all gotta give them something that they listening right now before we let y'all go. Give us something that we want to hear it.
All right, we're gonna just give y'all a little piece of after party, okay? I hope this works because we are both in two different places, so we don't know
I
how
know,
this is gonna
right?
sound. But we gonna try. Here we go.
Don't stop. You ain't gotta
You ain't
stop.
gotta stop.
Baby, do your
Don't
thing.
don't stop if the music drop. Rock with
Rock with
me.
me.
Get on top. You can take it off.
Was it gonna be?
Don't you want
Yeah.
the after party? We hope that was a good little, a good transitional. We've never done that before, actually.
Yes.
Yo, they
Thank
saying
you.
love it.
Thank
I
you.
mean, you got everybody coming up giving you applause. Y'all better sing. Y'all better sing.
Exactly.
Hey, yo,
Thank you, y'all.
listen.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
why don't you tell everyone, like, again, the projects you coming out? Because I want everybody to make sure that they go out and see y'all and participate, all that good old stuff. The projects y'all coming. Come on, let them know one more again. One more again.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We got a project on the way. We don't have a name yet. We don't have a name, but it's definitely a fire project on the way. And as we mentioned before, About It is out. The new joint is called Simple Things, which we
Simple
love
thing.
so much.
Simple
Which we love.
thing.
We cannot
It's
wait for
gonna
y'all to
knock
hear
y'all
that
upside
one.
the head. Simple thing.
Man,
Yes.
it's really good. And we got some tour dates on the way. So it's a lot of big things. Make sure you guys keep up to date with us on social media. All the information will be there.
And y'all gotta
Everything
make
is
sure.
Coffee Brown music across the
Yes.
border. Coffee Brown music.
And make sure y'all put Philly on
That's
those
right.
dates now. Don't
Absolutely.
leave us
We
out.
gotta come to Philly.
Absolutely.
Look, before I let y'all go, I gotta talk about this, man. So let's talk about some of y'all looks, man. Y'all look amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a wardrobe
Come on,
stylist, so
let's
we gotta talk
yeah,
about the
yeah,
threads. Ryan already said I'm a fly guy. I'm a fly guy, so you
Yes.
already know. Let's talk about what we're looking at right here.
That's hot.
So what we're looking at
Listen,
right here is
you see
our
it.
recent
Only
photo
thing we
shoot.
can say
Yeah.
is you see
Yeah, we killed this. This was actually
Hmm.
our first shoot, and as you see, like as we mentioned before, it's just chemistry. We definitely balance each other out. It's just amazing to see. Like I didn't forget about these pictures, but as I see them right here, I'm like, wow, like we do look good. So yeah, I'm
it.
Yes.
happy
Right.
about that.
Exactly. I agree, Ryan. I agree.
She said, I'm sure you do agree, V. Hold on, I
That's
can't
hot.
get back. I can't get back to him. I got this picture. All right, y'all hear my voice. My thing went out real quick. So I just want to say, thank you for coming to the show. One thing that we say to the show is once you come to the show, you're always welcome to come back because y'all become family at this point, right? And so
Thank
you're
Absolutely.
you so much.
always a friend to the show. Yes, and it was an absolute pleasure to have y'all. One more again. How can they get in contact with you and your social media? Somebody said I already followed them on where is that? I pulled it up. He said I followed them already on Coffee Brown Music.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Whoever said they're following us, thank you so much.
Right.
She said good as an understatement. He said dope interview. Kim, I love Kim right there. Come to the show, Kim. That's my homie right there. And so why don't you let them know one more again? How can they get in contact with you, locate you, some of your tour dates, music, and especially when y'all coming to Philly. You already know how we get down in the paint. But yeah, go ahead, talk to him.
Absolutely. Yeah. We
Everything
definitely gonna
Coffee
be.
Brown music across the board on all social media.
Yes, and we will be in Philly very soon. We will be in Philly very
Yes.
soon.
Very,
We
very.
will be in Kansas the top of November. So, for anybody on here who's in Kansas,
Absolutely.
definitely come and check us out there.
Get your
Once
tickets because we'll be there.
we will be
Yes.
there. Beast had Coffee Brown music across the board. And yeah, man, we are just ready to have some fun. We are ready to bring back the fun to the industry, and just be like
Absolutely.
a bunch of artists these days don't be out partying. Me and V,
Yeah.
we gonna party. We gonna dance with the people and have a good time. Yeah, we wanna bring back the fun and the love to the art of music. So yeah, we
Absolutely.
outside. We outside.
Fantastic. Shout out to Texas. They said Texas. That's a question. Y'all coming to Texas? They want to know.
Very soon.
Very
We're
soon.
coming.
There you go.
We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Coffee Brown. We got V and Ryan in the building. They wanted to come down, spend some time with We Talk Weekly, and we are absolutely thankful and humbled that y'all came to We Talk Weekly, our show here. And so we always want to make sure that you guys stay consistent, and we wish you the best with all the things you're doing. And
Thank
V,
you.
you again. Black excellence there. You continue to do
Thank
what you
you. I
do.
love you guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, and you always welcome to come back. So look,
Thank
they
you so much.
say you better.
I am.
He said you better. No doubt. All right, y'all. That was Coffee Brown. We got V and Ryan in the house, but I don't want y'all to go anywhere because when we come back, you already know we got the sizzle, and the show was almost over. But that was an amazing interview. But we'll be right back after this, y'all. Holla.
Thanks, y'all.
We just want to get a little background as to who the Fantastic Noise is and the noisemakers. If you can let us know.
Yes, absolutely. So once again, I am Fantastic Noise. I am the original noisemaker, so no one's gonna make as much noise as me, okay? And right here we have the Noisemaker Band. This is only half of it. The other stuffs are upstairs. My Kevin Lamar, Lonnie, and Dobbs, who are the actual band members. These are the background singers, and we came to make some noise. We came to bring that noise today. So that's what we trying to do. That's it.
right.
Yeah.
And how did you guys get together?
Oh man, so it started with I've been doing this on my own for almost 3 years now. And man, I guess each of these people here have different background stories. Most of us went to the same church together, and we just kept going. This one, her here, this is one of my assistants here. One of like my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader here. She's an assistant. So we just been building, and the same thing with upstairs with the band. Just meeting through people, kept networking, kept seeing, and it was just like God ordained. Bam, here we are.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, could you guys do We Talk Weekly a favor?
Yes.
Can you give us a drop in a melody type way?
Oh, a Millie type way?
Yes.
Okay. So We Talk Weekly?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do something like this. We Talk Weekly, come and hear us. We Talk Weekly, come and hear them. 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 We Talk Weekly, come and hear them.
You just gave me like. Okay, get beautified because y'all already gorgeous.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yo, Spark was hype.
She would be mad
He's
right
like,
now. She
yeah, I
would
know,
say.
right? She ain't that good, but I really like that because it shows the talent of our folks, our black folk out there doing some very fantastic stuff. So
Yeah,
we
gotta
talk.
do a montage.
Yeah, I
'cause
know,
we
right?
got a couple good ones.
I know, right? Gotta
Man.
dig them up. They in the crazy. So we talk weeklies after the talk with WPPMLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the Beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And you already know what's coming up next, right?
Yeah, we got the sizzle.
Holla at me early.
All right, so make sure you guys subscribe to We Talk Weekly on all social media and major podcast platforms. And if you want to support us, you can make a donation on Cash App to $ We Talk Weekly. You can also go to WeTalkWeekly.com, and then you can go to donate to support, and you can make a donation on PayPal. Oh my
PayPal,
gosh,
yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Just go to our site.
Yeah, just go to the
donate.
website. Go to the
Yeah,
website.
pretty much,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So BET hosted its 2024 Hip Hop Awards on October 15th. And crazy thing is, a lot of people didn't even really know about
I
this.
didn't know
Like,
about it.
I know, because I was like, I was hearing about it. Like, it was just like, oh, this went down, and there was no rollout, no, all the hoopla and all that they put up. It just didn't happen. But the show went down. Rapper Fat Joe, he hosted the event for the third time, and he kicked it off with a performance of his hit single "Make It Rain." And the awards show also featured performances from Trina, Young Miami, 2 Chainz, Soulja Boy, Juicy J, and more. Travis Scott was presented with the I Am Hip Hop Award by Tiana Taylor. And Travis gave a really heartwarming speech about his career and his rise to fame. And then a lot of people were just like, we've never even really heard Travis say more than like 2 or 3 sentences. I'm like, really? Then I thought about it. Yeah, you really haven't. But he gave a nice speech. The highlight of the night came with Kendrick Lamar, who took home 8 awards for Lyricist of the Year, Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, and Video Director of the Year, which he got with Dave Free for Kendrick's hit song, Not Like Us. But overall, it was a really good show. I don't know why it wasn't really widely publicized, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I know. Did you hear about it?
I didn't even know. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I guess I have to catch the highlights and the replay or whatever. But yeah, it was really good.
That's that.
So Vice President Kamala Harris addressed rumors that she prosecuted the late king of pop, Michael Jackson. So Kamala sat down with the Breakfast Club host Charlamagne the God for a special town hall interview in Detroit, Michigan. So Kamala said, there's a rumor that Charlamagne said to Kamala, there's a rumor that Janet Jackson is mad at you because you prosecuted her brother, the late great Michael Jackson. That's on the internet. Clear that up for the people.
What?
So Kamala Harris just simply responded, that's just not true. Well, in 2003, when MJ was on trial for child molestation, Kamala was a district attorney in San Francisco while he was being prosecuted in Santa Barbara. Well, Kamala, she had no involvement in his case, but just last month, if you remember, Janet Jackson made false claims in an interview that she heard Kamala Harris was not black and her father was white. So, Janet Jackson got a lot of backlash for that because a lot of people were saying that's some of the rhetoric that's going around. Well, this statement came on the heels of Donald Trump's infamous interview with NABJ, where he said Kamala just came out as a black woman. So this whole thing just made the internet try to dig up some receipts to attempt to make a connection that Janet was mad at Kamala because she prosecuted MJ. However, there was some footage that resurfaced from 2004 of then District Attorney Kamala Harris, who was stopped on the street and asked her opinion of MJ's trial at the time. So what she did say in regards to the trial, she said, quote, in general, the child will be able to recall and recollect some detail. The incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it's the only testimony that is available. So I don't know. People are just kind of, saying that maybe that's what started the little Janet feeling some type of way towards Kamala. But Kamala said, well, she didn't think there was no, bad blood, but other people think otherwise. I don't know. Did you hear about that?
I didn't. Oh, this is new. I'm like, interesting. I had no idea.
Neither did I. I thought it was just because how sometimes people will just make statements. Because I remember everybody was coming for
that.
Janet Jackson whenever she made those comments.
Yeah, she black excellence. You don't come from Janet. Sorry, I don't care who y'all is. I don't care who she talking about. She off limits.
Yeah, there were some people that were saying what you were saying, and then you had the ones that like D.L. Hughley that was just like
hold on.
He was just like it's unexcusable.
Hold on, wait.
Because he was, people were saying she did that on purpose. Because we
can't mention him on this platform.
Yeah, but he was making statements, and he had to come out and publicly apologize. And he said, "I did my research," so he came out and apologized. So I guess he's saying that from that standpoint that I had to, apologize. I did my research. So she is no excuse of that. But Janet has not stood. She has not stood down from what she said.
Shout out to Janet. She black. I don't care what she said. That's Janet. Period. Full stop.
All right.
That's Janet. She got a crown. She wearing her crown right now. She's good.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Where was all that smoke when they tried to ban her from the? I ain't even gonna go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got all that smoke down. Where were they at? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm gonna leave that part alone.
Yeah.
Well, the Celebrity Sizzle Award of the day goes to Megan Thee Stallion. So in honor of World Mental Health Day, Megan Thee Stallion has partnered with the California Department of Public Health for her Never a Bother suicide prevention campaign. So the campaign will focus on providing crisis resources for teenagers and young adults, reduce self-harm, and encourage peer support during mental health crisis. So Megan Thee Stallion said, "When I'm going through my rough patches of either anxiety or sadness, I think about where I was when I was at my lowest, and I think about how far I've come. Everything is not self-solvable. You don't have to be so tough all the time, and you're not the only one going through what you're going through. You never know who you can help while sharing your experience." So if you want more information about that, or if you want to send it to a youth or adult, you can go to neverabother.org for ways to get support, ways to give support, and hear real life stories from young people. So there is always help and support for those who are struggling with their mental health or having thoughts of suicide.
Fantastic. Okay, shout out to her. Give her another round of applause.
Yes, absolutely. I think now that's even more important because we're getting ready to enter winter, and you know how they talk about winter blues.
Yeah.
Like, I got winter blues, but it really is serious because there's less daylight. It's cold. People are staying inside. So you tend to develop, sadness or anxiety, fear, depression, whatever those things are. So, just know that there's always help and support.
All right, no doubt. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your boy, Charles Gregory the Beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And that was your show. We see you next week, right? It's next week, right? We here next week?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. We see y'all next week. Holla.
I